Greetings, parents and Bulldogs sports fans. If you are new to the Columbus Grove area and you have a student athlete participating this fall at Columbus Grove, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Terry Schnipke. I've been the athletic director here at Columbus Grove for 12 years now. If you have been around Columbus Grove, then you know my face, and it's good to see you again. I would like to welcome you to the 2020 fall sports season. It's really good to say those words, even though we don't know what this fall sports season is going to look like. I do want to assure you that there are people on the local, district, and state level that are working tirelessly for our athletes to try to have a fall sports season. Let me say that first. We don't know what that's going to look like yet, but there are people pushing for that. And certainly it is our hope that we will have a fall sports season of some kind. So with that in mind, obviously our annual OHSAA preseason meeting will be through this Loom and not through a formal meeting in the gymnasium, which I'm sure some of you will appreciate. There are some things I would like to cover, and then there will be a portion from our tech director, Mike Keehn, who will talk about final forms and the things you need to do as parents to prepare your athletes to be able to participate this fall and later on this year in athletics at Columbus Grove High School. I had hoped to, of course, have all this memorized and to dazzle you with my brilliance, but there is so much information, some of it I will be reading, so if my eye contact falters, that is the reason. First of all, as I usually do at the OHSAA preseason meeting, I'm going to read our our Columbus Grove Athletics mission statement, just so we all are clear on that. It is in our handbook, which is available on the school website at any time, but it bears repeating every year so all of us can remember why it is our student athletes are participating on the field and on the court. The mission of the Columbus Grove Athletic Department and all sports that fall under its purview is to nurture and develop student athletes into people who live a healthy and active lifestyle, not only while in high school, but also into adulthood. The administration, athletic director, and coaches strive to foster an attitude in all our students that reflects, number one, high moral character, number two, the ideals of sportsmanship, number three, the courteous respect for officials, opposing teams, and coaches, and all those in positions of authority related to athletic endeavors. Number four, leadership through athletics. And number five, competitive programs in which our community can be proud. All student athletes and parents need to remember that athletics are extracurricular in nature, which means they are a privilege and not a right. As such, violations of the athletic code of conduct, school rules, or team rules are subject to penalties up to and including denial of participation. Athletics are a natural part of the overall educational process and should be a rewarding and positive experience for all involved. At Columbus Grove, we strive to promote a positive attitude through athletics and to set an example of good conduct for team members, students, and the general public. Our hope is that the student athletes will not only gain a thorough understanding of the rules and requirements of their sport, but will also learn lessons about life through athletic competition. Here are the forms that you need to have completed for your student athlete to participate this fall. All of these forms can be found on our school website through Final Forms, which, as I mentioned, our tech director, Mike Keehn, is going to address a little bit later in this video. You need to have a physical form for your athlete on file. You need to have a participation form on file. This is a form that previously we have had you sign as a parent and student athlete. It is now available on Final Forms. You will have to complete a drug testing consent form. You will need to complete a COVID release form, and you will need to complete a sudden cardiac arrest form, also known as Lindsay's Law. Most of these are forms that we have had in the past and should be nothing new. They are just now being done on Final Forms and not in paper form. Obviously, one of those forms is a brand new form. I'm going to steal a piece of information that I was given in an email from the OHSAA, and I thought it was very poignant and very relative to our situation these days. And so I'm going to plagiarize, if you will, and read that paragraph because I think it applies to all of us and the current situation in which we find ourselves. If we want our student athletes to learn the lifelong lessons and receive the social, emotional, and physical benefits that the privilege of participating in education-based interscholastic athletics programs provide, we all have to be accountable for following all mandates and requirements. By not following the mandates and requirements, we are putting our student athletes at risk of not only contracting and/or spreading COVID-19, but also at risk of losing the season for themselves, their families, their teammates, their schools, and their communities. Mandates and requirements put into place must be followed in order for the governor's office to continue to allow us to participate. So that is the spiel from the OHSAA, which I thought was very important to share with you and very important for us to heed so that we can continue and have a fall sports season. With that, I am going to turn it over to Mr. Keehn for his information for you on the final forms, and I look forward to seeing many of you this fall at athletic contest. And if you have questions, my number here at the athletic director's office is 419-659-4331. One final note, at the conclusion of our OHSAA preseason meeting, we had breakout sessions with each individual sports. Those are now going to be conducted by each sports coach in their own manner. Some coaches have chosen to wait to have that meeting until they have more information on the fall season. The rest of the coaches should be getting with you and your student athletes soon to give you that information about that sports meeting. At that meeting, you will be asked to sign a yellow legal pad or some other form indicating that you have attended the meeting so that I may keep that on file in my athletic office for the state's requirements. All right, I thank you for attending this Loom. I hope it was informational. And as I said, I look forward to seeing you this fall. Take care and go Bulldogs.
Hello, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Mike Keehn. I'm the technology coordinator here at Columbus Grove. Have been here for the last 13 years. And as Coach Schnipke said, I'm going to talk a little bit today about Final Forms. Many of you have logged into Final Forms all over the last few months, are already familiar with it. But in case you aren't, Final Forms is a site we began using this past year to replace the paper forms that parents fill out every year, including both academic and athletic forms. If you've attended our opening athletics meeting over the past number of years, you recall as you walk in the gym, you grab a big paper packet of forms. You have to fill those out and then hand them back in. So Final Forms replaces that packet. And once you fill them out online, the information is carried over year to year, can be updated anytime, and it ensures that information we have is accurate and up to date. Then it makes it easily available to any staff or coaches in the event any of that information is needed. Like I said, a number of you have already filled them out and completed your forms for this year, but if you haven't, you can follow the link at the bottom right-hand corner here to start the process. Link number 1 there. It's columbusgrove-oh.finalforms.com. On that page, you could just click on the login button under Parent. And then you can log in with your email and password that you may have set up last year. If you can't remember what your email or password were, you can click either of these links on the right-hand side. If you haven't gotten started with Final Forms and haven't logged in before, click on the Never Logged In link below and fill in your email address and click that Send Secure Link button, and that will send you the email to get the process started. If you are unsure what to do in Final Forms, I actually have a detailed video with instructions that I made this spring, which walks through the whole process step by step. You can view that at that link number 2 at the bottom right. It's cg.noacsc.org/final-forms. forms. Another note, if your student has not yet gotten their physical, you can print out the form to give to your doctor directly from Final Forms. That physical must be on file for your student to participate this fall. So again, detailed instructions for getting started with Final Forms or that physical process are in that link number 2 below. If you have any questions whatsoever, for example, you can't get signed in or you don't see all of your students when you log in, please don't hesitate to contact me below. Again, the email address at the bottom right, cg_Keehn@cg.noacsc.org, or give me a call at the phone number at the bottom right as well. I'd be happy to help you get stuff going on it. As Coach Schnipke said, very much looking forward to seeing all the students again this fall, and really am looking forward to watching them compete this whole year. So thank you.